Good morning, everybody. Welcome to the Loopler. This game is a roguelike game kind of styled after Balatro, where you make a car race around a racetrack. In this game, there are many different ways that you can buff your character using gates or items or cards and stuff like that, and I decided that it would be a fun challenge to see if I can beat a run by only using cards and not using any shops at all. So to start out, the rule set will be I'm not allowed to access any shops. I will immediately open the shop. I will immediately quit back to the game, and I will try to see if I can beat all 12 rounds without doing any shop item purchases at all. However, if the game proves to be too difficult, I may change the rules so that way I'll be able to buy only card items from the shop. I'll be able to buy card packs from the shop. That way I can get better cards by the end of the match. So to get started, we're going to start up a new run. I'm thinking we're going to go on the Infinity track. We're going to go with the extra durability, and we'll play it on Bronze to start. If it proves to be too easy, I may try it on Silver in another video. So we'll start out with track 1. And for track 1, it should be very simple because you have nothing, and you're able to complete this in just one round around the track. Or, well, not one round around the track, but you'll be able to complete it without having to reboot yourself. So I'll get my first card pack, and I'll get on drift, on boost, and on gate. Now the thing is that because I can't use any shops, buying on gate items is completely useless. I can't activate them because I'll never have any gates. So the best one for me to get right now is probably +5 score every 0.35 seconds spent drifting. Or every 0.3 seconds, or if the font is what I think it reads like. I think it's score every 0.3 seconds spent drifting instead of 0.35 spent drifting. So now our new goal is 400 score. And with our drifting, we'll get a little bit of extra points, but we won't get that much more. So we'll have to restart up and go to the second round in order to be able to complete this. Now we do have a pit stop. So I'm going to immediately open the pit stop and I'm going to immediately exit the pit stop. So that way I don't buy any items, and I will be not buying any items from any pit stop, and I will hopefully be able to beat the entire game without doing so. This one's going to take a bit because we're at 800 points now, and so, but we will get a card pack at the end of this. And we start up for the last time, and we should be able to complete it after this. There we go. So we complete the thing, we get 10 gold, we get 5 more repair, and we get a card pack. So our second card we're going to get, we can get 400 boost when fuel is emptied. We can increase our score when we're drifting, or we can get score on our boost. So if we can quadruple the score we get when drifting, which could be very valuable, or we can give ourselves a bunch of boost when the fuel is emptied. I think for now it's better to get the skip marks upgrade. So it'll quadruple our score. And so for this one, we're going to go through here and we're going to get ourselves another card pack. Hopefully the increase in score from drifting will make this a lot easier for us, and it looks like it's going to make it a lot easier. And with that, we complete the round. So we get 10 more gold, 5 more repair, and another card pack. See what we get. So we can double our score again. We can get more score when we trigger a gate, or we can get +500 score when the fuel is emptied. Actually, I think that the +500 score when the fuel is emptied is the best one. Considering we're making about 500 already, we're going to probably double it to 1,000 score every loop. So now we need to obtain 6,400 score in order to beat this, and that might be possible. If not, we're probably going to lose our first round here. We only got about 1,000 on that first one. Probably going to make about the same on the second one. Yep. So it'll be close. If not, we will lose. So that's going to be the major problem with the cards, is the cards alone don't scale very well. So it's going to become very hard to get enough score later into the game. It seems like we'll get this one, but just barely. I didn't do this before the round started, but I'm going to go into the unlocks menu after this, and I'm going to update it so that way there won't be any on-gate cards that will be in the loot pool. That way I don't have to worry about getting a on-gate card, and I can reduce the likelihood that I get on-gate cards. Now this one is useful. Refueling 15% of my fuel when I go through the loop again will be very useful. It'll allow me to survive for much longer. So pit stop, open it, exit pit stop. We're moving straight on to the next one, which is a pit stop, unfortunately. Which means we'll have to pass this, we'll get no boosts, and we'll have to move straight on to the next thing. So now we're getting fuel back when we pass these, so we're going to live a little bit longer, which doesn't seem to be enough. So maybe when you run out of durability, you get a little bit of an overdrive here, where I get about 14 seconds of overdrive. Maybe we pull it off in that amount of time. And no, we don't. The car explodes, and that ends our first run with a failure. So, first thing, the next one, first run we're going to do, probably wasn't going to go well. We didn't have good odds from the start. But, we'll go to the main menu. We'll go to the unlocks setting, and I will go through all these and ensure that there is no cards that show up when you have a gate to pass through, or they'll only give you boosts when you pass through a gate. Okay, so the updates that I've made, I've turned last gas bond to double or 2.5x the current score when the fuel is emptied. I have disabled gate merchant, which is plus 100 score per gate on the track. I have enabled, I need to make sure that that's on, plus 50 score when an adjacent upgrade triggers. I have disabled both of these, the Ghost Rider and the Ghost itself, because when these cards just rely on ghosts, and ghosts won't really get buffed if I don't have anything, so it's just going to spawn a ghost for 15 seconds, and it'll give me a couple bits of score, which can be useful, but I feel like in most cases it won't really be that helpful. This should be on, plus 500 score. I've disabled plus 1 gold every 5th gate pass because we don't have any gates. I have disabled I've disabled plus 50 boost when refueling more than max because more likely than not, we are not going to be refueling more than max. I've disabled 25% chance for 400 per point score on loop because more likely than not, it won't be that useful compared to other cards. Now I've disabled all these cards really just to help myself get better RNG when running these runs. So that way I don't end up having bad luck that ends up killing the run. So we're going to start up on run 2, and we will end up picking our next first card. So let's see what it is. We complete the first one with just 2 loops, grab some repair, grab some gold, and we open a card pack. So the first card pack is refuel 15% of fuel on loop, refuel 60% of the fuel when the tank is emptied, ignoring fuel efficiency, and plus 20 score on boost. So ideally you want to build a boost build so that way you can fling around the track a bunch. Although we can really only boost on drift, boost on loop, and a few other ways to get more boost. So I'm going to start out with the reserve tank, I think. That'll get us up to level 2, and this should easily bring us right through level 2. Should even be able to do it without needing to repair myself. I'm wrong. So I will need to repair myself just once, just barely. So I get my gold, get my repair, get my pit stop, and immediately exit the pit stop. Moving on to the next level, where we have a card pack at the end of it. So we need a better scoring item in here because we are looking at having to do 3 lives already for 800. So 10 gold, 5 repair, and we get another card pack. So we get plus 10 boost spent, plus 10 boost every 0.3 seconds spent drifting, plus 500 score when the fuel is empty, or plus 600 boost when the fuel is emptied. I think that the best one for this is actually just to do plus 10 boost every 0.3 seconds spent drifting, because it'll give, no, I think the actual best one is nitrous here, because when we run out of fuel, we're going to refuel up to 60% and we're going to boost 600. So we'll see how this plays out on level 4. So we're going to go around this corner, we're going to run out, we're going to have our fuel back, and we're going to circle the track a bunch of times. Perfect. So that was 1100 score in the first life. So we're looking really good on that, and we don't even have any score boosts yet. The only way we can get more boost is to get boost on drift and boost on laps. So for now, we're going to do all right. We're not going to do super great. We're going to struggle on round 5 again, but hopefully we can get another card pack and it'll allow us to do better. And with that, we start it up again, and we run out of fuel, and we fire to the finish line a few more times, so that way we can get up to 6,400 score. So we collect our gold, we collect our repair, we open the pit stop, we close the pit stop, and we grab the card pack. We open the card pack, what do we get? Plus score every 0.3 seconds spent drifting, refuel 15% of fuel on loop, or plus 800 boost when fuel is emptied. I think the refuel on loop is actually probably the best one here. And so we're moving on to the next thing, which is a pit stop. So hopefully we can survive this well enough that we can move on to the next one. We have to get 6,400 points again, which last time took us about 6 lives. So hopefully we run out of fuel, the boost keeps our fuel going, and we can get more than about 1100 score per turn. Okay, now that we just made 2400 score off that first round, which means we should be able to do this in about 3, which is much better than last time, which it took us about 5. So ideally we get something like boost on lap or an increased score here, because we're going to need a lot more score than we're getting right now. It's 10 more gold, 5 more repair, and a pit stop, which we immediately close out of. Unfortunately, we have another pit stop, and we have to get twice as much score. I am starting to think I may need to use the pit stops in order to purchase cards to be able to make this easier. So I think on my next attempt, I will start using the pit stops to purchase cards and card packs only. And maybe I'll try again and see if I can beat it without having to use the shops at all. So unfortunately, this attempt is likely to run out and fail here. And I will start up the next attempt, and I will open up my ability to use pit stops to purchase card packs to make this ideally easier. And with that, we're on our last one. Maybe we'll see how it goes here. We may get kicked into overdrive once we run out of fuel again, and we may actually survive this because we are close on the score. So we're going to run out here, we're going to get our overdrive. We are going to explode. So we failed this round. We got pretty close to completing that level, but we would definitely have not beat the next level. So what we're going to do is we're going to start up run 3, and run 3 will be allowed to use the shops to purchase card packs. So we'll press retry. We'll start up the first run, and we'll start up the first level. And yet again, here we go. We're just going to have to complete this level in one try and move on to the next level. So we complete this level in the first try. We get our 10 gold, our 5% repair, and our card pack. So now we have score total loops multiplied by 1 when looping, 2.5x the current score when the fuel is emptied, and plus 5 score every 0.3 seconds spent drifting. Now, this one, the last gasp, is actually a good card because it'll do... it's actually a very good card because it will multiply our score by 2.5x when the fuel is emptied. Unfortunately, the cards that I had last round where we got a bunch of boost and a bunch of fuel, it won't double and a half those score after it restarts up the car. So it's really just going to be, you run out of your first set of your fuel, which we didn't get that much from that, and it'll double that, but it won't give you any more than that. So I think actually the Loopler here is actually probably the best scorecard, one of the better scorecards, because especially later in that round, like last time, we had about 300 loops by that point. So we would be getting about 400 score per loop. So it would make it easier, we'd get less loops, but we're going to have more loops to be able to use this more beneficially. So that concludes that. We're going to complete startup round 2, and we're going to beat round 2 and unlock our first item shop. So we get 10 gold, 5% repair, and immediately an item shop. Now we have 20 gold. We can't buy anything in here except for the card pack, and I'm not even going to buy the repair. The repair, technically, it's not an item. Technically, it doesn't buff me, but it is not a card pack from a pit stop, so I will just buy a card pack. We'll open up the card pack, and we will get refuel 60% of fuel when the tank is emptied, plus 20 boost on lap, or plus 50 score when an adjacent card triggers. Now, this one would be really good for drifting. So if I can get a drifting one, so this one is probably the best one because as we boost, we can boost around the track faster and faster, hopefully. This one is pretty good. I'm going to go with the plus 20 boost per lap, and we'll see how that rolls out. So we're going to exit the pit stop. We're going to go on to level 3, and we're going to unlock a card pack after this one. So now that we have boosting on laps, it should become much easier. So we're going to take this corner, we'll move faster, then we'll move faster again. Ideally, we can upgrade that card or make ourselves push faster and faster so that way it'll be more beneficial. Because this is good, but it's not that good right now. So 10 gold, 5% repair, and a card pack. We get plus 25 boost on lap, plus 10 boost every 0.3 seconds spent drifting, or plus 500 boost when the fuel is emptied. So this one is probably the best one because it'll give us a large boost that we can then continue to maintain with lap surge. So if we grab this one, we should be in a much better position. We can get this. We can get another card pack once we complete this level. So we can now see how this boost is going to help us out. So we're going to run out of fuel once we turn here. And we're going to fire, and we're going to be able to maintain it a little bit with lap surge. Now, it didn't help as much as I wanted it to, but it's probably fine. So now we're going to start doing better with our loops. We're still at about 70% repair, which usually we're at about this point in the other 2 rounds. So now we have a card pack. We can get score total loops multiplied by 1.2 instead, 2.5x current score when the fuel is emptied, or plus 10 boost every 0.3 seconds spent drifting. Now this one is the last boost card that we can get. Everything else is not going to be beneficial for boost. So this is as much boost as essentially we could push out here, and the only way to get more boost would be to upgrade it. Now, one card that would be really good with this setup would be a gain score on boost card, because we're going to be we boost every time we run out of fuel, we boost every time we drift for 0.3 seconds, and we boost every time we take a lap. So it's going to become really beneficial if we do that. So it's starting to look like we're going to struggle here. It's not looking super great, but we should complete this level. We should get 2 more card packs because we're guaranteed one in the store, and we have one when we complete this. Technically, the store can sell a really cheap card pack, which could be beneficial because we can buy a card pack for, I think it's about 2 coins. That will allow us to get a 3rd card pack out of it. So we didn't get it this time, but in the flash sale, it can give you a 75 whatever percentage off of a card pack. So this time, we're going to buy a card pack. We're going to open the card pack. We're going to get more drift on more boost when drifting. We can get more boost on when we lap. So we'll probably get more boost every drift to make it faster. Exit the pit stop, open the card pack, open the next card, and let's see what we get. We get more boost when drifting, more boost on lap. So I'm thinking we take more boost on lap this time. So now we have level 6, where we're going to get a card pack out of the end of this. Let's see how much better we do here. We have only 3 attempts to be able to complete this. So hopefully we're going to be boosting a lot more than more. Unfortunately, it looks like we're going to fail this because we don't have nearly enough score to be able to pull this off. And the boosting cards don't seem to be doing all that much. But now we have overdrive, which will save us. So we will be able to get gold, we'll be able to get a 5% repair, and we'll be able to get a card pack. So we can get more boost when the fuel is emptied. We can refuel on the loop, which is probably the best one to do. We should probably refuel on loops, so that way we can keep ourselves moving. So now we're going to move on to level 7, which is going to require us to get 128 or 12,800 score, which is probably not doable with our current setup, unfortunately. Although we're starting to do better. Here we go. We're starting to build up because the refuel is allowing us to stay around for longer, and we're starting to build up a lot of boost. Okay, there we go. So I think we just kind of passed the whole problem here. We didn't even run out of fuel that time, so the 500 boost didn't even get consumed. So now we got repair, we got another card pack. So now we can get plus 20 score on boost. That one is probably really good. If we sell this card off and we replace it with plus 20 score on boost, every time we make a lap, we're going to get 20 score, and every time we drift for 0.3 seconds, we're going to get a little bit more score too. Now, this is a more difficult level. It's probably not the best idea for me to do this or try to take this on, especially because I only have 2 attempts, but we'll see what we can do here. Hopefully, we can do what we did last time when we can refuel a bunch and we can keep running the thing over and over again, and we can make our fuel back, which we're starting to make the fuel back, and we're starting to make a lot of loops here. So we're already at 10,000 score. We're already pushing even further than that, 15,000 score, 20,000 score. We're starting to lose the fuel, 25, 28, 30, 35,000 score, and we're out of fuel, but we did make it to 43,000 score. So guaranteed we're going to be able to beat it this time. And we are going to have to make sure that instead of prioritizing score, we need to prioritize keeping ourselves alive. So we need more refuel or we need more boost when we loop in order to make sure that we stay alive. So the pit stop, we did not get a card flash sale, but we did get a card. We do get the one guaranteed card pack. We open up the card, we get a bunch of garbage apparently. So we'll probably just skip this. We'll take the repair, exit the pit stop, go to the card pack. We'll open this up. We get more refuel on loop. That's going to be good. We can take more boost on loop, though. Boost on loop is probably better because it'll allow us to hit the loop more times to be able to refuel this better. So we're actually going to take the boost because the refuel only really runs out when we actually are running out of fueling efficiency. So we're moving on to the next level. We now need 102,400, and that's going to be pretty difficult, but we do have 2 attempts at it. Last time we had 43,000 as our first run, so maybe we do better than that. Guaranteed we do better than that because we have more loops now, but we'll see how much better we actually do than that this time. So we're at 18, 19, 20. We're still gaining fuel. Now we're starting to lose fuel. We're at about half fuel, quarter, and we run out of fuel, and we're still going for a bit, and we're running out of speed, and we made 88, 89,000 there. So perfect. It's making way more now. We're guaranteed beat this on the second try. And so we'll be able to we'll guaranteed beat this on the second try. So we'll get our card pack and our item shop, and hopefully we'll be able to finish out the rest of this with a successful challenge. So can't buy the normal gate. It's the flash sale, but it's not a card pack. So we get the card pack, and we have plus 300 score on loop. That's not that great. Plus 400 boost when the fuel's empty. That's not that great. And now we could do plus 40 score on boost, which is kind of helpful, but honestly, it's probably not better than the nitrous. So the score on boost is helpful. We're gaining it a little bit, but we're not gaining it all that much because we only boost every loop, and we're making a lot of loops. But every loop we're also gaining 500 score, so it really is overshadowed by the Loopler card here. So what we're going to want to do is we're going to get the plus 400 boost when the fuel is empty, and we're going to exit the pit stop. We're going to open the next card pack, and we're going to see what we get. We can upgrade nitrous, or we can upgrade lap surge. We're probably going to upgrade lap surge because it's probably going to give us the most benefit. So now we get to move on to level 10 out of 12. We're getting close. So we can open up level 10. Start it up. We now need 102,400, which we just did last time. We almost did it in one run. Let's see if we can do it in one run this time. So we're starting to gain the fuel back up, and we just keep spinning around faster and faster and faster. And the fuel efficiency goes down. We're at 20,000 score, 30, 40K, 50K, 70K. Oh, we definitely got this round. So we just did that in one run. So now we're starting to make the big bucks here. So now we have another pit stop. We have only the card pack. The flash sale is not a card pack. So we get to open this up. We can go 60 boosts per lap, guaranteed. Now we just beat the game, guaranteed that beats the game for us. So now we get to pick this one, or this one. So this one has 2 card packs, so we'll pick this one. It's technically harder. I don't really have to do it, but we might as well take the chance, see if we can't make it. 409,600. We have 3 attempts at it. Surely we make it. So we got 10,000 score. Our fuel is still going up because the fuel efficiency is still looking really good. With all the loops we're making, we only make more and more score every loop. So now, soon the fuel efficiency runs out. Fuel efficiency is now too low for us to be gaining. So we're starting to lose fuel. We run out of fuel, so we're going to start losing speed. And we start losing speed. And we're out. So we did make 292,805 score, but we did have to restart. And now we're going to have to go again. So we're going to run through all this. And we should be able to beat it. Now, the big bad of the next one is I believe we're going to need double this score, and we couldn't make it in that. So we're going to need both these card packs to be really good for us. So we can get score multiplied by 1.2. That's really good. So we'll take that. The card pack, refuel. That's not great. Score multiplied by 1.5. Okay, perfect. So now we're going to make a ton more score. We should be making 1.5 times the score now. And ideally, we'll be able to beat this. We have 3 attempts to beat this. Surely we can pull it off. So for sure, let's see if we can do it in one. I kind of don't expect that we can do it in one, but we should be able to get close, if not over halfway in one attempt here. So we spin around a lot really fast. We're really benefiting from this 1.5 times multiplier. And we're out of fuel. We're going to start running out of actual fuel instead of fuel efficiency. We're out of fuel. We're going to start running out of speed. And we're going to be out of speed. And we gained 628,034. So it seems like we're guaranteed to beat this. And that means that we just successfully beat the Loopler. All 12 rounds. We did only beat it on the bronze difficulty. And we beat it with just cards. Now, unfortunately, we did have to use the item shop in order to get some of the items, but it's still just cards. Only used gold just to buy the cards, more cards. That was much easier than I thought it would be, and actually I do believe that this is probably doable on the silver loop, so I will probably make a video on that soon. And but just in general, if you guys are interested to play the Loopler, I do highly encourage it. It is a fun game. I've been having quite a lot of fun with it. It is just a demo right now. I didn't mean to press retry. Well, it is just a demo right now, and it is a fairly fun game. Let me go to the main menu. It is just a demo right now. For sure, you should wishlist it on Steam. It's supposed to come out in the next coming months. When they release it, it's gonna have a bunch of cool stuff. They're gonna have like more gates, more charms, cars, more cards, more tracks. There's gonna be apparently an infinity mode, which would be great. I'd love an endless mode in this game. But essentially, to start out, you get your daily challenge, you get your weekly challenge for the demo, and then you have your 3 tracks, all of which have the silver, and you also have the gold car, or you have your yellow car and your blue car. Blue car gives you extra durability, yellow car gives you extra gold. But anyway, I do encourage you to try out this game if you haven't. It's very fun. So yeah, I will try and see if I can beat this game on the silver difficulty. Maybe I'll even try and beat it on a different map. If there's enough interest, let me know. I will absolutely take a run at it and see if I can beat it. Surely you can beat it. I did kind of beat that somewhat easily, and I did get really good cards that allowed me to beat it very quickly, but it did still, even in the later stages, require me to do a reset every single round. So more likely than not, it will require some better RNG to get better cards and good luck, but I will try it and I will hopefully succeed. And so that pretty much sums it up for this video. Apparently you can beat the Loopler without any of the shop items, you can just use cards.